A very good evening from Hale Hockey Club for the opening game of the Hockey WA Premier League for men. And as you probably know, tonight's fixture will see Hale taking on Whitford. And the team lineup for Whitford, they've signed some new players this season, and wearing number 1 is Jake Prunster. Simon Norton is wearing number 2, both those players coming from Old Guildford Mundaring. Captain for Whitford is Todd Malloy. Another new recruit is Anand Gupta, who's come from the ACT. Ryan Christie's wearing 6. Nathan Ephraim's, the Kookaburra, is wearing number 7. Cooper Prunster is wearing number 8, another player from Old Guildford Mundaring. Matt Stevenson is wearing 9. Sam Bodenstaff, 12. Dale Midolo wearing 13. Duncan Christie, 14. Ben Sabato is wearing number 16. Matt Christie, 17, Lyndon Ross, 19, Denver Farmer, 27, and new recruit Jeremy Hayward, number 32. Turning our attention to Hale, and Sam Ashton is wearing number 1, Braden King, number 3, Benji Austin wearing number 4, Matt Lewis, 6, Josh Bowen, 7, and Jack Pearce, 9. Their captain, Josh Belts, is wearing number 10, Charlie Norman is wearing 11, Blake Wallace, 13, Liam Flynn, 15, playing his 150th game tonight, Liam Flynn for Hale. Asger Wade wearing 17, Marcus Jorgensen is wearing 21, Chris Moses wearing 2, Hayden Belts 23, Joe Welsh 25, and goalkeeper Ollie Higgins wearing 32. Well, Hale finished 7th on the ladder last year, Whitford in 11th place, and obviously looking to improve on that position in 2022. And the last couple of seasons we haven't seen relegation. That is in place this year, provided we get through at least one round of matches home and away. Beautiful evening to get the season underway. And a stat that probably a lot of Whitford fans won't like. These two teams have met 3 times and Hale have won all 3 times. I should just say that Liam Flynn as well has scored in every single one of those games against Whitford. Jeff Cock had also scored, but he's not playing tonight, so that is a relief for the Whitford lineup. So Whitford making their way out onto the turf. Hale just breaking up their huddle. Looking to get the season off to a good start. Both teams desperate for a win in the opening match. It will be Whitford to get us underway. Nathan Ephraim standing over the ball. Just waiting for the goalkeepers to get into position. Benji Sabato gets his helmet on, and we're almost ready for things to get underway. So Whitford start the 2022 season. Ball thrown long, and that'll bounce harmlessly out of play. Just wait for the ball that's ricocheted back onto the pitch. Using the width early on. Fairly tight on the right-hand side at the moment, but gaining a little bit of space. Stolen away well. Good work by Josh Bowen. Josh Belts now comes wide. Joe Welsh, one of the recruits for Hale, moving across from Wasps in the closed season. Belts self-passes and thinks twice, goes back to Braden King. Interception's a good one in the defence from Matt Christie. Hale, though, getting in the circle, the first circle penetration of the match. Thrown wide now. Ryan Christie brings it down. Well watched by Braden King. Steals it back. Hayden Belts dispossessed. That was a good strong tackle by Ephraim's. Ephraim's leaves it for Denver Farmer. Free hit awarded just outside the circle. Farmer over the ball for Whitford. Self passes, goes back to the defensive line. Gupta dispossessed by Liam Flynn. Flynn now on the attack. Modolo did well to recover, close down the angle. Flynn still going though. Into the circle he goes. Modolo gets a touch and it caught Flynn's foot. Good defence by Dale Modolo. 2007, the most promising player at Whitford Hockey Club. Long time ago. Free hit goes the way of Hale. Wallace thought about playing it first time. It's a good block. Working hard to get on the end of that, Duncan Christie. It's Hale though come up with the ball. Hayden Belts back to King. Switching play down the left-hand side. Nice turn now. And long corner. Bowen forced away and dispossessed as well. Denver Farmer leaves it behind. King brings it down, just takes it away from Jake Prunster. Played back by Lewis into the defensive line again, Welsh. Good press coming from Whitford. Moses to Belts. King on halfway for Hale. Unable to trap that on the reverse was Charlie Norman. But it's still Hale down in the corner. Good work being done by Jack Pearce. Another long corner. Josh Belts comes forward to take it quickly. Square pass. Deflected into the circle. It's broken kindly. And shielding with the stick, so free hit Whitford. Good run again in the forward line from Matt Stevenson. Norman wins the free hit from the side. Austin. Diagonal pass, Stevenson just got a touch. Almost intercepted that one. So Hale just outside the circle, taken, must go the 5 meters. It's Matt Lewis who took that quickly. And now Belts to King. Edge of the circle, nice turn from Jack Pearce, but forced away from goal. And the ball picked up by Whitford. Thrown over the top, and it was a good pass. Unfortunately, Nathan Ephraim's just not able to bring it down and get it under control. Would have had a clear run at goal had he done so. Jorgensen finds Welsh. Welsh in turn picking out Bowen. Bowen beat the first tackle. Stevenson coming back, penalised though. Austin again. Good defensive play, coming out quickly, stealing possession back, and immediately going on the attack as well for Whitford. That was good play coming from Ephraim's. Hale, though, into the circle they go. First penalty corner of the match. So the rain just falling lightly as Hale congregate at the top of the circle for the first penalty corner of the match. Making his way to the baseline, Benji Austin will do the injecting. Liam Flynn playing his 150th game, just waiting at the top of the circle. Braden King stopping for him, Joe Welsh alongside Flynn. They go to Flynn. Flynn flicks hard and low. Good defensive work. That was good work by Gupta, coming off out quickly. Another penalty corner awarded to Hale. The same positions. Go to Flynn again, and a mix up there. Just try to play it into the path of Bowen, but it was too far ahead of him. Goes harmlessly out of play. Good defence, though, by Whitford. Flynn now, looking for options. One comes through Ashton. Top of the circle. Flynn just let it run away. Showed a bit too much of the ball. Bursting out of defence. It's good play defensively by Ryan Christie. Jeremy Hayward goes to the right-hand side. And unfortunately for Whitford, it just goes over the side. Welsh trying to play that down the line, managed to find the foot though of Ryan Christie. Josh Belts now, closed down by Ross. Belts creates some space for himself, plays it forward now to Bowen. Bowen helping it forward, Ashton into the circle, squares it, Flynn. Good block, Flynn on the reverse. And it's a free hit, Whitford, and they get on with it again quickly, looking to break forward. Stevenson just holding it up on halfway, gets the return pass. Looks to go down the outside. Good tackle from Josh Belts. Welsh now. Bowen. Stolen away well by Denver Farmer, just nicking it off Jorgensen's stick. Turn comes from Ephraim's. He's under pressure. Two Hale players closing him down. Good position up wide now. Into the circle, dribbling towards goal. Did it catch a foot? Promising attack from Whitford. Jake Prunster took up a good position wide and was not picked up by the Hale defence. Brought down by Modolo. Denver Farmer comes square now to Cooper Prunster. That's a good ball. Looking for the runner, Stevenson. Stevenson getting there ahead of Jorgensen. Jorgensen there recovered well. Stolen back, but not a fair tackle coming from Ryan Christie, according to the umpire, as we're into the final 5 minutes now of the first quarter. Still 0-0 here. Stolen by Farmer. And good work again, that time coming from Simon Norton. Sorry, it was Farmer again, my apologies. Belts running diagonally, offloads as Wade. Played into the turf by Ashton, but just couldn't get it under control. Good recovery from Ryan Christie. Madolo now for Whitford. Norton just showed. It was actually Cooper Prunster showed a bit too much of the ball. Good work again. That's Norton now bursting out of defence, looking to try and get on the end of a pass from Farmer. Farmer held up by Wallace in the midfield. Wallace gets the ball back after good tackle from Josh Bowen. Bowen calming things down for Hale on halfway. Neither team so far forcing a save from either keeper. Wallace now. Good pass into the circle. Lovely turn coming from Pearce, and a great block as well. I'd just like to acknowledge some of our sponsors. Varsity Burgers coming to Innaloo soon. Just watch out for that at the old Sizzler store. And the Bunting Group, from remote mine sites to residential homes. The Bunting Group delivers quality assured, cost-effective building or maintenance services to meet your needs. Remember the name, the Bunting Group. Matt Christie just having a personal game with Madolo for a second or two. Thrown long into the air, brought down well by Braden King. Turned away, that was good from King. Comes wide to Moses. Moses forced back, good pressure being applied by Duncan Christie. Austin. Good pass, picks out Charlie Norman. Norman turns away from the defender and gets a good pass away himself. And the free hit won by Jack Pearce, top of the circle. Hayden Belts over the ball for Hale. Goes back to Wallace. And he tried to play the angled pass, but unfortunately nobody on the angle for Hale. Jeremy Hayward back on for Whitford. A bit upset Anand Gupta that the decision didn't go his way. Anand Gupta, who played for West's Hockey Club in Canberra, made his debut for them back in 2013. Joe Welsh. Wallace keeps it in. Good pass, picks out Norman. Norman runs into Jeremy Hayward. There's quite a few people have run into Jeremy Hayward over the years, and they've come off a lot worse than Charlie Norman did. Lovely mazy run into the circle, appeals for a penalty corner, and the umpire rewards those appeals. So a third penalty corner for Hale with 38 seconds on the clock. Can they take the lead before the first break? Hayden Belts making his way to the baseline this time. Ben DiSabato just standing off his line at the moment, waiting for the defenders to join him in his goal. Joe Welsh at the first battery this time. Comes out to Welsh. Welsh flicks low, good save, DiSabato. Norman puts it out of the ground. Well, he should be going off round the bases, shouldn't he, with that one? Over the fence it went from Charlie Norman. A chance goes begging, but there's one now for Whitford to steal the lead. Good save. Ollie Higgins comes off his line and smothers. And that was a really good opportunity for Duncan Christie. But credit to Ollie Higgins, the WA under-21s goalkeeper in 2021, saving the day for Hale late in that first quarter. As we go into the first break, it is Hale 0, Whitford 0. Whitford players making their way out for the second half. Hale still in their huddle, getting instructions from their coaching staff. 0-0 still at the end of the first quarter. Ollie Higgins saving well from Duncan Christie. And just prior to that, Ben Di Sabato, good save from a penalty corner low down to his right-hand side. Ben Di Sabato, the 2021 best goalkeeper in the Hockey WA Premier Grade. Whitford to get the second quarter underway. Farmer helps it back to Hayward. Intercepted by Flynn. Hayward's there. Looked like it caught a foot. It did indeed. Free hit to Hale. Played on quickly. Comes wide to Sam Ashton. Looks to square it. That caught a foot, and it'll be another penalty corner to Hale. Their fourth of the match so far. Watching in the warm-up, Liam Flynn was putting them in the top corner with scary regularity. So far, it's fair to say that the injections haven't been the best for Flynn. He'll be hoping that they can get it right this time around. He's at the first battery, Joe Welsh at the second. Josh Belt stopping for Flynn, Sam Ashton for Welsh. Di Sabato waits under his bar. Comes to Flynn. Flynn flicks low. It's taken a deflection, and it is the opening goal for Hale. Liam Flynn getting his first goal of the season and the first goal of the season for any club. And Liam Flynn continues his wonderful record against Whitford. As I mentioned, he's scored in every game since Whitford have been in the Premier Grade. And that makes it Liam Flynn's 8th goal against Whitford. Ross will bring that down now inside the circle, trying to turn. Ross does well, and eventually just taken away. Ross has actually changed his shirt. He wore number 19 in the first quarter. Back to the one that was on the team sheet, number 20 for this second quarter. Push in the back there. No denying that. Ephraim's, though, pleading his innocence. Good tackle coming out of defence by Gupta, but stolen away again by Flynn. Flynn stopped at the top of the circle. Real determination from Farmer. And Flynn penalised for shielding the ball with his stick. Ryan Christie tried to turn, and the ball just ran away from him. Wallace picks it up. Goes wide now to Benji Austin. Well, there was a hand in the back there. Bowen got away with it. Farmer now. Carries almost up to the 22-metre line. Dispossessed. Josh Belts carries to halfway for Hale. Has Sam Ashton on his right-hand side. Ashton looks to play it back in. It's a great pass. Reverse stick shot, and good save. Now that was Di Sabato. I think it came off his kicker. A great movement of the ball by Hale. And Whitford lucky not to be down a second goal. Long corner. Belts, first time into the circle it goes from his brother Hayden, but nobody on the end of it for Hale. Jeremy Hayward, who last year was with Old Guildford Mundaring, but didn't get to play a game as the preparations for the Olympic Games were underway. Jake Prunster gets the free hit this time. Sam Bodenstaff throws it to the air, but the danger created. So the free hit going to Hale. Braden King now, flick of the wrists, throws it out wide. That's too far ahead of Charlie Norman and bounces harmlessly out of play. Hale again, still possession. Get a free hit down the right-hand side. Hayden belts back to Wallace on halfway. King being faced there by Stevenson. Good work by Moses. And that's good talk from the back by Whitford, just making sure everyone just shifts across in position. No doubt the way the coach, Phil Marshall, wants them to play. Falls for Jake Prunster. Prunster pushing it forward, but misdirected. Tom Malloy that time trying to just squeeze the ball into the circle. Josh Belt's acceleration is good. Pass will reach Norman. Norman now over the 22-metre line. Good tackle, and it found the foot. Good advantage played by the umpires too. Good work by Matt Christie going infield. Sam Bodenstaff going back to Hayward. Hayward, out it goes, and Matt Christie turns. Dispossessed on halfway illegally though, I think. No. Not sure what Hayden Belts was apologising for there, but Jorgensen now. It's a good pass down the line. Good defence again by Whitford, carrying it out confidently. Comes wide now to Stevenson. Stevenson found the foot, so a free hit to Whitford. Just outside the circle. This is their chance for an equaliser. Thrown to the air, to the far side. And unfortunately not brought down that time. So possession goes back to Hale. That'll be Hayward's ball. Collect that with ease. And all the players just a little bit concerned going in there to bring that one down from the air in case they were penalised, and just let it drop harmlessly. Return from Welsh. Austin, down the line it goes this time to Bowen. Bowen cuts infield. Norman's made a run. It's going to come wide. Great pass to Ashton. And Di Sabato comes out, but it's Sam Ashton who gets the second goal of the match for Hale. That was a good build-up by Hale. Good passing. And the switch to the right-hand side. Di Sabato coming out. Ashton getting it past him for his first goal of 2022. Gives me a chance again to acknowledge the sponsors. Varsity Burgers opening a new store at the old Sizzler site next to the cinemas in Innaloo, and the Bunting Group. From the far north to the Great Southern and everywhere in between, the Bunting Group is engaged in building and maintenance projects. If you're looking for work to be done, contact the Bunting Group. Welsh bursting forward, dispossessed, good timed, well-timed tackle, that time from Ephraim's. Whitford looking to get a goal back quickly. Ephraim's tried to just keep that under control with one hand. Denver Farmer now has the ball though for Whitford. Good defence by Moses. Jorgensen rather. Hayward wins another free hit, edge of the circle. Ball must go 5 metres before it is played into the circle. So Ephraim's runs it across the top of the circle, finds a foot, and it's a penalty corner, the first to Whitford. So can they make it count now? The perfect chance for them to pull a goal back now. Ross makes his way to the baseline. Hayward just marking out his steps back. Jeremy Hayward, so lethal from penalty corners, just telling the stopper where he wants it. Comes out, good stop, Hayward flicks, and it's got past the keeper, and Jeremy Hayward pulls one back for Whitford, his first goal of the season. And that should lift the men in white, because they will believe now that if they can win penalty corners, Hayward can convert them. So we're back to just 1 goal the margin. Midolo brings it down. Farmer didn't get that under control, but good work again by Ephraim's. Ephraim's feeds it wide now to Ryan Christie. Christie being closed down by Josh Belts. Belts shoulder to shoulder, managed to pinch the ball away and then wins a free hit. And that's a lovely turn in space from Josh Bowen. Bowen just leaves it behind for Hayden Belts. Accelerates down the middle, looking for the deflection. Midolo got there, and because it's been played up in the air, deemed dangerous. Penalty corner Hale, their 5th. So once again, just like to promote the Bunting Group, who love a challenge. They're being solution orientated and client focused. They will collaborate with you to achieve the best possible outcomes on your building. Remember the name, the Bunting Group. You can follow them on Facebook. As Hayden Belts gets the ball, goes down to the baseline. Flynn again at the first battery. And you feel he is the main option this time. Matt Lewis alongside him. Lewis in his younger days renowned for his flicking. And Midolo just going a little bit too early. So Whitford reduced defensively. Di Sabato wanting all his defenders on his left-hand side now. He'll take care of the right. It's a good trap, and it's a good save by Di Sabato to deny Flynn a second, and Hale a third. Belts comes wide now, Jorgensen. And a little tumble there from Prunster, that's Cooper Prunster. So a free hit to Whitford as we enter the final 5 minutes of the first half. Can Whitford get an equaliser before half-time? Wallace. Josh Belts just had to move away from Norton. Played first time by Hayden Belts, but didn't quite go where he was hoping. Gets a second chance now. It's intercepted. Ross now. Ross trying to cut infield. Determination coming back from Bowen. Wins it back for Hale. Wallace now with time on his hands. Feeds it straight up the middle to Josh Belts. Belts feeds it to Ashton. Ashton's got a clear run into the circle. Ashton weaves past one on the reverse stick. Forced away from goal and gets underneath it. and it goes harmlessly wide, doesn't go out of play. So chance now. It's given away again to Bowen. One back though by Malloy. Farmer throws it wide on the diagonal, just eases the pressure at the back. Denver Farmer, who was developed by Whitford's but then moved to Vic Park. Oh dear, and that's going to be a penalty corner. And it looks like it may be a card as well. Was that a... The umpire signalled as if he felt it should be a card, but not seen the card issued. So maybe thought better of it. Asger Wade, deflected by Ross, long corner Hale. Just over 2.5 minutes left in the first half. And a scurry back was Wade. Good defence again by Whitford. Madola stays calm, feeds it to Farmer. Farmer almost ran into a little bit of trouble but got away from Hayden Belts. In the end, Farmer leaving it behind. It's one at the edge of the circle. Wallace struggling to get it clear. Back with Whitford. Eventually cleaned up again by Josh Belts. Great work by the captain. That was superb under pressure. Norman now glancing up as he advances over halfway. Coming across, good defensive play by Anand Gupta. Gupta's pass as well is a good one, finding Ryan Christie. Dispossessed though by Norman. Two defenders ahead of him. Norman tries to just lift it over the stick. Got past one, not the second though. Norton now. And Norman penalised. Hayward wants to get on with it quickly, throws it to the air. Wallace comes across. And Ephraim's penalised for coming into the 5 metres. So we're into the final minute of the first half. Hale looking to launch one last attack before the long break. Hayward again, comes wide. Sam Bodenstaff feeding it forward, cut out again though by Hale. Hayden Belts creates a little bit of space for himself and then goes straight through the middle once more, but pass misdirected. Chance for Whitford now to launch one last attack. Ephraim's holding it up on halfway, looking to just kill the clock now. Jeremy Hayward throws it long as the hooter goes. That is the end of the first half, and 3 goals in that quarter. Liam Flynn opening the scoring for Hale from a penalty corner. Sam Ashton making it 2-0 to Hale with a field goal, but Jeremy Hayward pulling 1 goal back for Whitford thanks to a penalty corner means that we head into half-time with a scoreline that reads Hale 2, Whitford 1. Welcome back to the Hale Hockey Ground, where half-time just about to come to a close. The score on the scoreboard at the moment, Hale 2, Whitford 1. And of course it was July last year that Hale won 3-2. Whitford scoring their first 2 goals against Hale in their 3rd meeting. Lyndon Ross with the penalty corner, Nathan Ephraim's with a field goal. They'll be hoping they can get a couple today and record their first win of the season in this, the opening game. Once again, just like to acknowledge the sponsors, which is the Bunting Group from the far north to the Great Southern and everywhere in between. The Bunting Group is engaged in building and maintenance projects and delivered high quality work on time. If you're looking for building or maintenance work, please contact the Bunting Group. And of course, Varsity Burgers, the perfect pre-movie meal, is coming your way later this year when Varsity Burgers open at the old Sizzler site at Innaloo. Hale players making their way out onto the turf for the second half. Whitford already in position, ready to get started. Which way is this game going to go? Liam Flynn over the ball, the whistle goes. And push back to his captain, Josh Belts. Braden King comes wide of Benji Austin, showed a bit too much of the ball, but free hit goes against Simon Norton, but much to his disappointment. One of the players to move from Old Guildford Mundaring. Hayden Belts now, a little bit of space for him to advance into the circle, looking for the foot, didn't find it. Penalty corner has been awarded. Matt Lewis was looking to turn and get a shot away, so Hale with a 6th penalty corner. And just 16 seconds gone in the start of the third quarter rather. Hayden Belts making his way to the baseline. Liam Flynn looking fairly casual at the top of the circle. Liam Flynn, part of the Australian development squad these days. And as I mentioned, his 150th game today for the club. 4-time Eric Pearce, top goal scorer in the Hockey WA Premier League. Comes to Flynn. Flynn flicks low and beats Di Sabato, gets a second and a third for Hale. Just the pace on that from Flynn, too much for the Whitford keeper. So Liam Flynn gets his 9th goal now against Whitford in just his 4th match against them. Hayward. Norton will get this from the side. Not sure the ball was stopped, but the umpire was happy, and that's all that matters. Gupta self passes and just got underneath that, and that's... Oh, I thought he took that with the stick, but it looks like it went over the top of the stick into the body. And hopefully nothing too serious, more just shock. Gupta just getting underneath that one. And good to see player back up before David Guest could get on in his role as coach cum physio. Austin goes back to King. King flicks it over the top. Ephraim's read it, but couldn't get it under control. Good work coming back by Simon Norton. Good work, though, by Matt Lewis to win it back for Hale. Ooh. Hayden Belts, I'm not sure if he was caught, just rolled his ankle there. Wallace under pressure. Braden King plays it dangerously down the middle. Denver Farmer collects it. Nice turn from him to pull away from Josh Belts and get it on the forehand, although Belts read his pass as he was playing it and got a touch. And Belts gets a free hit, and the crowd don't like it. Hayden Belts looking to feed Liam Flynn, and Flynn on the reverse Good position, but just didn't manage to get it under control. Hayward picks out Farmer again. Joe Welsh, though, took it away from him momentarily. Back with Whitford now. Hayward. Kept in play well, but intercepted once more, and Hale to try and keep possession. Josh Belts creates some space for himself, goes back to Wallace. Comes wide now to Joe Welsh. Joe Welsh, who has his parents over from England at the moment, played his hockey at Rumsey in Hampshire. Shot across the face, a goal from Liam Flynn, and good position taking up by Matt Lewis, but he just couldn't get the touch in front of goal. Eframs lets it run. Stevenson couldn't get on to the end of it. Moses, short pass to Belts. That's just catching the foot rather. Norton a little bit disappointed with that one. Wallace, but Stevenson very nearly stealing that one away. Hayden Belts, two Whitford players ahead of him, driving towards the baseline. Released Norman. Ball will come to Welsh now. He'll go back into the defensive line. Benji Austin to Braden King. King uses the width again. Wallace now. Wallace drills it into the circle. Good defence though. I think that was Ryan Christie on the far side. Long corner conceded by Whitford. Comes back again to Benji Austin. Austin and King like bookends at the back for Hale. King now, a little bit of space to manoeuvre. Decides though to go back to Austin. Belts just acting as a pivot. Come to Josh Belts now, but he still has to go back to King. Welsh now trying to turn, keeps possession. Moses just lifting it over the stick, but stolen away by Whitford, who get the chance to go on the attack again. Cutting infield, that time was Jake Prunster. And Prunster penalised for the stick tackle. So Welsh again. And King misses that one. Eframs comes across, wants the ball quickly, plays on quickly. Being chased all the way back by Wallace. Eframs wins the free hit. Hayward now. Good diagonal pass from him. A really good pass from Jeremy Hayward. Well, must admit Whitford, I think, a little bit unlucky there. Player on the ground making the tackle. It was Moses. Hale still pinned in there. Corner. Prunster into the circle he goes. Free hit just outside. Comes back to Hayward. Hayward sweeps it into the circle. Ricochets at the top of the D. It's Hale who've come up with it. Now they've got numbers. Flynn pulling away from Hayward. Hayward coming back. Flynn driving into the circle. Goes on the reverse stick. Hayward still with him. Off his line, Di Sabato, and it's cleared well. Good solid defence, and Jeremy Hayward just telling Liam Flynn what he's just done to him. Sure, Jeremy Hayward just saying, you've got to do better than that to beat me. Work on halfway from Josh Bowen. Jorgensen not able to keep that one in play. So Jeremy Hayward self passes, blocked by Norman, but over the side it goes, so Hayward gains about a metre. Taken down well by King, but stolen well by Jake Prunster. Prunster trying to get the better of King, keeps possession for Whitford. Good tackle, Joe Welsh. Charlie Norman now, a little bit of space for him. Turns to mount an attack for Hale, slips the ball. Looks for the return pass, it comes to Norman, top of the circle, but really good tackle coming in the end from Christie, or was it Medolo it was rather. So Whitford get the umpire's decision. Pressure just eases for a few moments and they get the chance to mount another attack. Thrown to the air but thrown out of the ground again, just getting caught in the hook of the stick. So that's 2 balls gone missing today. I'm not sure whether that's more like baseball or golf. Jorgensen now. Pincer movement to close him down, but he got the pass away. Comes back to Jorgensen again. He gave it to Ephraim's though. Ross will collect it. Ephraim's makes a good run, but it's too far ahead of him. Nathan Ephraim's, who played for Hockey Club Melbourne in the Hockey 1 League, which of course has been on hold for the past 2 years. Hayden Belts dispossessed by Ryan Christie. Ryan Christie has to work hard to keep possession. Stevenson in a right tussle with Wade. Four and a half minutes left in this, the third quarter. Just the 1 goal added in the second half from Liam Flynn. Well, there was that push there from Josh Belts. He got away with it. That's why I think Ephraim's was a little bit miffed. Side of Josh Belts' game we didn't see for a long time. And bouncing all the way through, Liam Flynn in a good position. And he has great hand-eye coordination. You don't often see him miss one like that. So Whitford could really do with a goal before the final break, just to narrow that gap and just give them a little bit more time to get an equaliser. Oh, thrown to the air, and Ryan Christie was through on Ollie Higgins. Higgins didn't know whether to come and challenge and whether he would be penalised for coming into the 5 metres and creating danger, so he just stopped momentarily. Moses now. Ross doing good work getting goal side. Hayden Belts. Ross just with a stick poke took it away just for a split second. Belts has got it back, and then Wade gets the decision. Come a long way back for an offence that must have happened before the whistle blew. Jeremy Hayward in deep conversation with the umpires down below us. Farmer now. Cracks it towards the circle. Didn't really get the purchase he wanted. Sliding in. Norman does well. And just over the side it goes. So it'll be Whitford ball as we enter the final 2 minutes of this third quarter. And into the feet of Ross. Hale just taking their time now. Braden King may well throw to the air, but instead goes wide to Wade. King closed down by 3 Whitford players, got the pass away. And Hayward will let that run over the side. And he'll try and launch one last attack as we enter the final minute. Good turn from Farmer again on halfway. Pokes it forward. Gets the free hit. Norton back to Farmer. Farmer goes square. Wallace under immense pressure at the back there, but eventually the whistle goes in his favour. Wade has played that blind, and Hayden Belts gives him the right glare as it was a long way away from him. Jeremy Hayward again looking to just try and create something in these final seconds of the third quarter. Bowden's staff went square. It'll come back to him. Needs to get it forward quickly if they're going to force a penalty corner. Farmer. Through the legs it goes, and that will be the end of the third quarter. So just the one goal added. Liam Flynn scoring in the 31st minute from a penalty corner. It means that Hale still have a 2-goal advantage going into the final 15 minutes. Score on the scoreboard, Hale 3, Whitford 1. The final quarter about to get underway as both teams make their way back out onto the turf. Hale leading by 3-1. Can Whitford find 2? If they find 1, it'll give them hope to find that second. Or will Hale go on and just seal their victory? We will know all the answers in the next 15 minutes. Liam Flynn will get the final quarter underway. As he did before, goes back to his captain Belts, who throws the aerial pass. Watched all the way by Medolo, brought it down well. Farmer put under pressure this time in the midfield. Belts into the circle, hits it first time. Di Sabato makes a good save. Flynn, well, he was trying to keep it in play, but it ran over the baseline. Taken from the long corner quickly. Flynn has found the feet, and that will be a penalty corner off the feet of Anand Gupta. It's another penalty corner for Hale, their seventh of the match. Anand Gupta, who conceded that, is an ambassador for Living for Hockey, which is a charity run by ex-hockey players, and it's to assist with mental illness in Australia. So a really good cause that Anand Gupta is involved with. So Liam Flynn on a hat-trick. Waits at the top of the circuit, comes out. It's a good trap. Flynn gets hold of it. Good defensive play on the back post. Just wringing the hand a little bit there. That was great save by Ryan Christie. Wallace. Up down the line that time by Bowen. Run out of play though by Matt Christie. So Hale back with the ball. Free hit goes the way of Hayden Belts. So Hale really trying to mount some pressure early in this fourth quarter. Well intercepted coming out of defence. Needs to play it through to Ephraim's. Ephraim's. Wallace comes back. Good work again too from Benji Austin. There's great anticipation defensively from Duncan Christie. Madolo, strong on the ball. Farmer. Ephraim's wide on the left-hand side. Sure he was looking for a foot then, but good play again by King. That's good as well by Lewis. And the run through the middle. Di Sabato kicks it clear. Hayward took control, feeds it to Ephraim's. Ephraim's in turn feeds Simon Norton. Norton looking to go wide to Ross. Good intercept again, that time coming from Benji Austin. King stayed forward, intercepted again by Gupta. Norton tries to turn, but he's there again. Josh Bowen to steal it back for Hale. Hayden Belts wins a free hit, edge of the circle. Goes wide, ball brought down, but the Farmer just coming in that 5 metre zone, creating danger as the ball came down to Bowen. Farmer, though, has won it back for Whitford. Ephraim's a long way forward, was in behind the defence. Great run again coming through the midfield from Duncan Christie, but just stopped when it really mattered. And now it's Hale. It's end-to-end stuff in this final 15 minutes. Not sure they'll keep this pace going. First game of the season. Welsh trying to get around the back, and it goes over the side. It'll be a Hale ball. Hale happy to play it right back into the defence and recycle. Welsh again. Helps it forward, back to Welsh. Welsh into the circle. Good defence again from Whitford. This time they calmly play it out. So Whitford ball from the side. Played forward, Lewis. Lewis into the circle, reverse stick. Lewis has got it. What a shot on the reverse stick from Matt Lewis, who makes it 4-1 now to Hale. Just a little bit of space, top of the circle, and bang. Lewis makes it 4. Now that just makes it a little bit harder now for Whitford to come back. But there's still time, 10.5 minutes to find 3 goals. Jeremy Hayward, they just need to win a penalty corner. 1 from 1 from penalty corners, Whitford. As opposed to 2 from 7 for Hale. Wallace being put under pressure by Stevenson. Wallace has to go the reverse stick and pings it over the sideline. Cut out well at the back. Jorgensen. That's a great pass into the circle. The goalkeeper's come out and it's fired home by Charlie Norman. Di Sabato came off his line to try and break up the attack and squared across the circle. Charlie Norman unmarked makes it 5-1 to Hale. So 2 goals within a minute, you feel, have sealed the game now for Hale. But Whitford will not give up the ghost. They'll keep attacking. And Norman hit rather high that time. Josh Belts over the ball again. Goes back to Benji Austin. Belts again. Wallace, such a rock at the back for Hale. Had a horrible finger injury in the final series a couple of years ago. That's good play in the end by Sam Ashton. Moses loses out. Ephraim's got some support alongside him. Ephraim's breaking forward. Matt Christie has made a run into the circle. Square pass is a good one by Ephraim's. Into the D it goes. Ephraim's tries to deflect it behind his back, but it goes out for a long corner. So still a chance. Todd Malloy, the captain, squares it. Bodenstaff. Determination gets it back for Whitford from Ryan Christie. Free hit goes the way of Whitford again. Ryan Christie takes it quickly, turns, got past one defender, gets another free hit just outside the D. Bodenstaff try to smash that into the circle. Norman comes up with it now for Hale, put under pressure, takes a tumble. Free hit Hale. Wallace again, diagonal pass cut out. Hayward just helps it into the midfield. Stevenson needs to pull wide. It was a good run through the midfield, but Stevenson was just a little bit narrow, and it meant that the pass from Matt Christie was never going to be on. Hayward. So Whitford deflects up in the air, brought down by Prunster. And a penalty corner, the second won by Whitford, and they scored from the first, so can they keep it 100% record? Not surprisingly, Jeremy Hayward marches forward. And this will be the test for Ollie Higgins. If you're a goalkeeper with ambition, you want to be tested against the best, and Hayward is one of the best. Comes trapped well. Hayward sweeps it towards goal. Good flick and a good save by Higgins. Just stepped off to his right, covered the near post. And a solid save by the young Hale goalkeeper. Bodenstaff just managing to pull away from Flynn, who was a bit ginger as he got up then. Kept in play, went over the side, so Matt Christie to play it in for Whitford, who are still pressing to try and get a second goal. And the angle just wrong that time. Makes such a difference getting off to a winning start in your opening game. Hayden King, good skills from him, finding Belts, Hayden Belts that is. Up down the line again to Josh Bowen. Lewis now. And it's a long corner conceded by Whitford. Really good passing down the left-hand side by Hale. Braden King. In the circle it goes. Good defence once more from Whitford. Will break for Stevenson. Stevenson, the man born in Townsville. That's a miss pass by King. Pressure applied, comes wide to Norton. Norton looks to go down the line. Wade gets it back for Hale. Good work again coming from Bowen. Bowen to Lewis. Lewis gets a free hit just outside the circle. He thought he got a penalty corner. Ashton plays it in. Hayden Belts wins a penalty corner this time. So Hale now with their 8th penalty corner of the match. Just over 4.5 minutes remaining. Liam Flynn is out on the pitch at the moment, so still sitting on 2 goals. Can he get a hat-trick opening game of the season? in his 150th game for the club. There's some way to celebrate. Hayden Belts wakes his way to the baseline. Braden King stopping at the first battery. Joe Welsh waiting at the second. Liam Flynn at the first. They go to Welsh this time. Welsh flicks. Good block by the first runner, but it's going to be a reward. So will they go with Welsh again? Little conversation going on between Flynn and Welsh. Hush comes over the ground. And it's a fluffed injection from Hayden Belts. Hale have got the ball. Belts is still in a conversation with Simon Norton. And the free hit has gone the way of Hale. Comes all the way back to Benji Austin. Good turn again from Moses. Loses out the end, and it's Whitford with a chance to go on the attack once more. Jake Prunster losing out. Braden King. Moses just under-hit that pass, but Hale have got away with it momentarily, because here's Ephraim's 1-on-2. Ephraim's shoulder to shoulder. Ephraim still with the ball. Gets away from Wade. On the angle, and it's gone through Higgins. And Nathan Ephraim's gets a second for Whitford. With just over 3 minutes left on the clock, Ephraim's gets a consolation for Whitford. He was their top scorer in 2021, Nathan Ephraim's, with 9 goals out of the 26 scored by Whitford. And he's got his first of the season in the opening game. Hale, though, on the attack again. Free hit awarded just outside the circle. Just over 2.5 minutes left. And the penalty corner is the outcome from that. It looked clumsy. It looked like the Hale player slipped. But the penalty corner is the decision. And it is a 10th penalty corner for Hale. And the shoulders drop a little bit from the Whitford players, understandably. So once more, it's defensive duties. And no doubt Hayden Belts will be making sure that he doesn't fluff this insert. Liam Flynn on the side at the moment, so Joe Welsh will be the premier option. And Welsh would love to open his account with his new club in the opening game. Out it comes, Joe Welsh. Again, great running by Madolo that time. Good work from Josh Belts, weaving his way through and just wide. Well, that would have been some goal by Josh Belts had he managed to beat Di Sabato. May have played for Diamondbacks, but that would have been a diamond goal from the Tasmanian. Into the circle it goes, brought down well by Benji Austin. And the umpire gets a nice foot on it. So it will be Bodenstaff now to Jeremy Hayward. Can they close the gap even further? Bodenstaff again. Norman in pursuit. Norman's got a touch, but penalised is Jack Pearce. So it's inside the 22. Goes back to Hayward. Bodenstaff, a little bit of space closed down by Wade. Ross slips as he turns. And Josh Belts again weaving his way out of defence. Stick check eventually came from Denver Farmer, who's penalised. And there's a little bit going on off the ball. King. That's a good touch from Ephraim's Farmer. They're forming quite a good understanding, Farmer and Ephraim's. We're into the final minute. Hale, you feel you can say with confidence assured of a victory here today. Wade dispossessed on halfway. Ross with the ball. Now it's Matt Lewis. Lewis to Wade again. Infield he goes to Charlie Norman. Lewis once more. Belts opens it up. Good vision from the captain. Now his brother Hayden Belts squares it top of the circle. Medola read it well. Accelerated out of defence and took the ball back for Whitford. Now it's Ross on halfway. And that is the final whistle. And it's a good opening game for Hale in the Hockey WA Premier League as they run out victors 5-2. Liam Flynn with 2 goals, Sam Ashton with 1, Matt Lewis with 1, and Charlie Norman with 1 for Hale. While Jeremy Hayward opened his account for his new club with a penalty corner, and Nathan Ephraim's scoring a late consolation goal for Whitford. The final score here, Hale 5, Whitford 2.